for trail miles, that the system is expandable to cover that.
Yes, sir. Agreed. Concert, Brewfest. We have an opportunity. Why don't you explain this?
Okay. The Visitors Bureau this year has decided to fund 4 concerts throughout Boone County. Brewfest will be one. They are paying and bringing a mobile stage. This is similar to what I proposed to council, so it's a very nice stage. With Little Peanut Productions, who is the company who always did when we did the Grand Prix. So it's definitely a top-notch outfit. They are putting Duke Tomato on stage at Brewfest. It's all paid for by the CVB. So since that's being covered on Saturday for the event, we talked last year about having, since everything's here, a Friday event. I talked to Little Peanut. The owner of the company actually is a Whitestown resident. So he will give us he's already given a deal for the stage the second day. He'll cut that in half for the other day, so it'll be $3,000 for stage, lighting, sound, everything. It's normally over $7,000 for that. So we'll have it Friday night. So my plan is to put together, last year on Brewfest we made over 5,000, and that was in a monsoon. Is to pretty much stick to under 5,000 on this. 3,000 for the stage. I checked it, $600 to come flush our porta pots overnight and refresh everything. So for under $5,000, I want to bring in food trucks and do something similar to where, like when we closed the street in Original Town and had the concert, family friendly. We blocked the street off to where people can pile up and line up and come out for a free concert and food truck night. So I think the cost is minimal for that. We already have the facilities in place. So we're just adding on a night. And as we talked last year, we could turn it eventually into either a long weekend festival or something besides just the 5-hour event of Brewfest. With all the work that goes in, we can maximize and utilize the event a little more.
That's a good idea.
That sounds fun.
Go after it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I like it.
I'll be quick. I know you don't believe it. So we met on the 1st. If you go into my office, you'll see that my whiteboard is full of all the information that we talked about on the 1st from a goal perspective. I'm not sure that we have finalized those goals with you. I have some priorities from Council President Miller. I have not heard from many others. I'd like to finalize that sometime in April at least, although we'll work off of those items that we presented to you just like we did the year prior. We're already on our way. Top IT goal is a new website. So there you go. We've also taken down some others, getting the transportation plan updated. You all talked about that tonight. I think we desperately need to get the Legacy Corps plan updated, and here's why. I see Noblesville doing or I see Brownsburg doing their thing, and Jason and I had lunch with Grant and Brian and from Brownsburg in their downtown. I see Westfield with their $200 million development. I see Greenwood with their $31 downtown development. I think right now is a good time for us to get a plan in place, present that plan to developers, which I've already talked to a couple developers, and that would be really developing the trail portion of the Legacy Corps back into retail and apartment living up high, and also that block between Linville and Pierce Street. That would be a good infill plan as well. The Legacy Corps plan was kind of a basic plan that had pictures. It was good for Okra to help us. We talked to Chris Ham at HWC about this as well. He's done a ton of these. It's also a part of our comprehensive plan. It's a big part of our comprehensive plan. Now is the time to strike and get this done and get it in front of developers so that we can be Brownsburg and Greenwood and what Westfield's doing to their downtown. So if we don't, we may miss the boat. Interest rates are rising. Now's the time to borrow money. You expanded the Legacy Corps TIF tonight to include the industrial area. Once that building gets built, we'll have some revenue to do things for that building and revenue to do things in the Legacy Corps. Main Street will get new curbs and new pavement this year with the stormwater project. So will East Pierce. We're looking at getting West Pierce done as well. There's, from the town's perspective, it's some aesthetic stuff to do, some lighting, But it's time to get the development community involved. I hear from all the time from residents that say, why is the town not doing anything with all the buildings in downtown? We don't own them. We can't do things with things we don't own. We can't improve the infrastructure, the sidewalks, the walkability, the promenades, the trailhead. We can certainly get into public-private partnerships. And here's a great one if you think about it. The Redevelopment Commission, if they had the money, this is what happened in Brownsburg. So the Redevelopment Commission purchased the old Malachi School. The Redevelopment Commission paid to have it leveled via TIF. The Redevelopment Commission got into a third-party, a 3P, public-private partnership with a developer to do the $41 million investment. That's how this works. So now is the time. Don't want to miss the boat, and I think that the upgrade of the Legacy Core plan is vital as well. That, we did not get the grant for the bike ped plan. We just have too much. Those communities are communities that need money, all right, quite frankly. They need resources. We have resources. We think the bike ped plan will be about a $40,000 plan. We have a sufficient amount of money in cash reserves, sufficient amount of money in town capital line.
You're going to spend that
We
money
keep
3
spending
times
it
over
quickly,
just
yes. We have a sufficient amount of money in town rainy day fund to fund the both of those plans that I just talked about. So those are part of the goals that are on my board in the office. I know all town staff is diving into those goals and rapidly, actually, even in March, getting a lot of those items complete. So that's the goal discussion.
I think the Legacy Core Plan upgrade is something that is needed sooner rather than later. As that connector comes through, we're going to see more and more development in that area, and the more our plans can be in line and up to date and ready to go for today and shovel ready, especially with the storm sewer as well, I think that's something we need to make sure that we are ready for.
We're also talking with developers on land west of the interstate and south of Traders Point. I won't get too many details here. We think we're in very good discussions at this point. We need to take down some land near Eagles Nest and Westport for park activities, community center later down the road. We think a public-private partnership is the best way to go, so that they would build basically a mixed-use development, and part of that mixed-use development would be park/community center ground. If you want to see what really works well, go to Fishers. Look at where their downtown municipal building is, and then the building right in front of it. A great example of the public working with the private to get park, municipal building, and retail/residential living all in one spot. So we're having those discussions right now as we speak. One last thing I want to talk about it. Last night or Monday at the Redevelopment Commission, we had talked about I talked about the Commons project, which was an awning and a kind of a sprucing up of this parking lot for farmers market activities. We got together as a staff and determined that that's probably not the best use of funding, because eventually this ground we're sitting on is going to be worth a tremendous amount of money. And we need to make a decision at that point of, do we stay or do we sell it for the $800,000 an acre it's going to be worth. And once again, I'll reiterate for Duke that we wouldn't do this until Anson was completely built out, so that, they'd have to give us permission. We have to work with them. But I am saying that why would we put a $400,000 steel awning up in a parking lot that eventually could be taken down in 5 to 7 years? So what we've looked into is taking a ban from Maple Grove, which is a bond anticipation note, for $1.1 million. We have sufficient revenue to do so. It would be a short-term ban. The Redevelopment Commission saw the analysis. We would propose to you and to the Redevelopment Commission that we completely resurface Whitestone Parkway, that we add a trail on the north side of Whitestone Parkway from West Haven to the Meyer gas station, that we add walking trails here on this property down Boutwell Drive to connect down to Heartland, cross Heartland, so that you can walk off of the parkway down to the west, and then some aesthetically pleasing items here to the east, on the east side of the parkway. We think that would be the best use of that ban. It's TIF, it's what it's there for. Now, like I said, the interest rates are low. Now's the time to do these projects. This gets us a usable parkway for years to come. And at the same time, DLZ is currently designing what we call the Whitestone Parkway Improvements Project, which is being paid for out of the Maple Grove bond. And they're engineering that, and that's the landscaping and the trees and the public art along Whitestone Parkway. So we'll have the best gateway by far of any community in Boone County. So that band project has been put in front of the Redevelopment Commission. They tentatively approved us moving forward with it. I kind of, not asking for blessing, but this will involve legal fees if we go farther, because we'll have to start to do all the analysis and get the resolutions ready, the bond resolutions ready. You'll have to approve resolutions for the bonding, and then we'll do typical TIF bond out of the Maple Grove TIF area. So that's another one of the projects that we brought in front of you back in February. Roundabout will begin late fall. It'll let in late fall anyway. You'll start to see some utility movement soon. We're just ending, I think, land acquisition phase. I know you're out of it now. I won't look at you. And so the Indy Road Whitestone Parkway Roundabout is making progress and will begin soon. I think those are the major items that we're working on from the town administration side. One last item is HR. We have a proposal to have, I think I told you about this in February as well, one of our HR goals was to have videos, a company that would do videos for us that our employees would watch for compliance, and that's in sexual harassment, hostile workplace, sensitivity, internal controls. Janetta did a great job. I know she's gone. She did a great job of working with Sandra Perry at Bose to find us a consultant who will do that. I don't have the proposal to talk. We can give you the proposal in April, but I think we need to do it quickly so we can get everybody in front of these videos and get our compliance done for the year, and then have it as part of the onboard process. This gives us a lot more professionalism than having Sandra come in here, stand up here, talk, and there's no accountability on did somebody listen. And that's one of our goals as well. That's all I have. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. Anything else from council?
Mr. President, I move we do now adjourn.
Second.
All right. All those in favor say aye. Aye. All those opposed say no. Meeting's adjourned at 9:10.